A TGV age is not a limit. You have already experienced that on couple of occasions. One when we hosted Hansika Tyagi for our 225th episode, and number two, recently we hosted Asini Lakshminarayan for our 350th episode. So they both were like 17 and 14 years respectively. And today we are joined by Asia's youngest data scientist, Siddharth Pilli, and he is the second youngest speaker on the Guiding Voice platform. And as we prepare to delve into our conversation on the topic at hand, becoming a data scientist at the age of 12, here is an exciting twist. Siddharth, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few, and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. And let's dive right in. Here comes the first question. Data.
Mongo.
Okay.
I think.
Okay.
Actually, can I change that? Like image, sorry.
And next one is invention.
I would say PCs, generally.
Yeah. Future.
AI.
And book.
I would say the Oppenheimer's book.
Movie.
There's this one we call Yeni Nagani came in. I like that.
Okay. And then place.
Goa.
Food.
Biryani.
Name.
Gautam, my brother's name.
Okay. And then planet.
I think Mars.
So given a chance, would you travel there?
Yeah, of course. If there is a possibility of safe travel, then definitely.
Yeah. Okay, last one, sports.
Cricket.
Awesome. And Siddharth, thanks for participating in the first rapid fire round so sportively. Really appreciate it. And folks, welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series, where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value to your life and to your career. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Siddharth, hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice platform. And thank you so much for being part of our journey. In fact, we have already done one episode in Telugu and it is doing really well. And it is nice to have you here on the English platform as well.
Of course. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So, Siddharth, for the global audience who may not know about you already, I would request you to share your brief elevator pitch or a kind of small introduction.
So hi everyone. My name is Siddharth Pilli. I'm currently 16 years old, and I'm currently titled as the Asia's youngest data scientist right now, mainly because I bagged the job role of data scientist when I was 12 years old. So I worked with a software company as a data scientist when I was 12 years old. That was my first big achievement. From then, I did so many cool things. I worked on so many amazing opportunities. I worked with IIT Hyderabad as a research engineer along with Professor Venitan Balasubramanian. Basically, like he supervised me to build a project. And I also worked with Infinity Learn as a data scientist, an edtech company by Sri Chaitanya. I also work with, I'm also working with IIT Hyderabad right now as a research engineer, where we're trying to we're trying to build an app called EDRI, which basically focuses on the post assessment of earthquakes. And recently, I created my own startup called Universes. It's available on universes.app in the internet, where we basically created an AI college counselor where if you need any guidance or if you have any queries towards college counseling, you can ask Universes and we'll give you some amazing response. And I also created one app called Notely, which can basically write class notes for you. So it basically uses AI and some of GPT and BARD models to generate your class notes. So that's basically a bit about me. And in the meantime, I also did some freelancing where I worked with an US finance-based company to create some trading bots and some automation bots for them. Yeah, it's mostly about me.
That's quite a lot for a 16-year-old. And I'm sure you're going to soar heights and you will create a mark for yourself. Of course, you have already done, but I'm sure there are a lot of great things on your way. And Siddharth, Please share with our audience the top three things that have contributed to your success so far.
I would say one is the curiosity, because it's hard to imagine that like for me it all started with just a curiosity of even trying to understand how apps or games are created. And that's basically what led me to just bagging a job role of data scientist. Worked on some amazing opportunities, did some amazing projects. So curiosity is one of them, and the next I would say is practice. When you do have curiosity and you have that you have that passion to learn more, you need that hard work. Like you have to just be persistently working on the same thing until you gain that skill so you can create some amazing work. So hard work is one thing for me, and finally persistence. And persistence play an important role because you always face obstacles. Let it be anything out there. Like I faced obstacles, many things that we have encountering bugs in a project or just dwelling in real life. I always encounter some obstacles, but like the persistence behind that, it's always like a forward booster for me. So I would say these three things help me a lot in life.
That's awesome. And Siddharth, can you share with us how your journey as a data scientist began at such a young age? Basically, interested to learn from you what sparked your interest in this field.
Of course. So, like for me, the whole tech career or even understanding technology as a beginning or scratch, it all started when I was 7 years old. So when I was 7 years old, I was like super interested into playing games or using apps in my dad's laptop or phone in those days. So normally when I used to play these games, there is this sort of just question hindering around saying that like I'm playing these games right now, I'm using these apps right now, but I didn't exactly have the right sort of understanding of like how these apps or games are created. So I asked my dad. He told me to do a bunch of research on that. I did some research. I found out that these apps or games which are created, which I'm actually playing or using right now, these were created with a concept of programming. Just a bunch of computational set of instructions actually made this happen. So that part of like programming was interesting to me, knowing that if there is a problem, you can give a set of instructions and solve it, and build something amazing right there. So I saw this huge potential for this whole programming. At least it seemed interesting for me to start. So I said I wanted to learn programming, and my dad had some materials, because he's a software engineer, he's an automation test engineer, so he had some material on. Yeah. So he already had some material on Java available. So I used to go to YouTube. I used to learn some simple Java programming out there. There's some internet online resources. I wrote my first hello world program, and that's how the whole programming sort of thing started for me. And from there, I learned some more programming languages like Python, HTML, some more web development frameworks, and but that was the main spark for me.
Hmm. So it all started at the age of 7, and normally people get into playing games or watching some stuff, but you wanted to understand what is actually causing the game to be rendered on the app on the screen, right? So that is quite interesting and really great to know that. And what are some of the exciting projects you have worked on as a data scientist? And could you share some insights into your favorite project and the impact that it had created?
So yes, like in these years of just messing around with AI and machine learning, I created some amazing projects which were super beneficial and even super fun while creating, because I had a chance to like, work with some amazing people like my friends or some colleagues out there to create stuff. So the one that comes to my mind is my IIT Hyderabad internship project, where there's this company called Julie Challenges. It's a Germany-based company. They basically host data challenges, where they basically do a problem statement. They give some data to support it, and you have to build a model that might solve that specific problem statement. And it's basically like Kaggle. So in my IIT Hyderabad internship, I did this data challenge called leaf counting, where there's a bunch of like images available of plants, and you have to create a machine learning model that can predict the number of leaves in a picture. And I trained an exception model for that data, and it scored the 0.68 mean absolute error is basically like kind of like a loss error. It understands the accuracy of that model, and that scored me second in the leaderboard. So that was like super amazing for me because I got second in the leaderboard, and my professor Winton Barcelona so was also like super happy about that. So IT Hyderabad was like amazing for me. And then IIIT Hyderabad, I worked on my EDR app where I got a chance to work with some amazing people like Bhaskar, sort of my like sorry Bhaskar, some of my team lead, and few more colleagues here and there. So I think like IIIT Hyderabad project was also super amazing. But the whole EDRA was about you had to do post quick assessments where you have a bunch of data features available with you regarding the structure, the zone of the area, and after computing all those features of like using an algorithm, you'll get this one value which ranges from 0 to 1, and that value helps you to understand like on how risk susceptible is that specific building to an earthquake. So that's one project I worked on which I felt interesting. And few more would be Universes. One I'm actually a co-founder and part of. Universes was like super amazing for me because the funny part is I created Universes with three of my friends in like 1 week. So it was just complete grinding. This is also summer holidays. In summer holidays, I didn't get a chance to do a lot of like too much stuff. So me and my friends just grinded for like 1 week and created Universes like an AI college counselor. And we hit like 800 plus users by today. So I'm super happy with Universes. And final would be Notely. And
Mm-hmm.
it basically, what Notely does, I specifically designed it for like Indian students where you can enter your grade, your class, which like educational board you're from, and which subject or topic you'll be needing notes for. And when you click
Mm-hmm.
on generate, it'll automatically generate notes for you. So Notely is also available on notely.in right now if anyone wants to use. But I would say these are a few projects which are like super cool. I had a great time working on them as well.
Mm-hmm. Great. Let me move to my next question. How do you approach learning new concepts, new technologies, new skills? Because IT itself is rapidly evolving, right? And especially domain of data science has also evolved so rapidly, and it is still evolving as we speak. So, how do you keep yourself up to date, and how do you approach learning new technology?
Well, most of the time, to be honest, anything I learned until now, either be web development or just making some automation bots here and there. I would say it's all mostly to practice. For me, I learn better when I'm actually when I'm actually doing projects because sure, you already have some courses available on internet. Like for example, if I want to learn web development right now, I can go to YouTube and just say teach me Flask, and it'll show some amazing tutorials by some amazing instructors who will explain a Flask like web development framework to me. Like of course, for basic fundamentals, it's amazing, but for me, I learn better when I do projects. So if there is any new technology or if there's anything that's just newly released and I want to explore it, I'll understand the basic. I want to understand why it's created, but like what is the main use case of it, where is it being used right now, and how can I get my hands on that? And finally, if I think that something cool or some interesting thing can be done with it, I just build a project out of it. And when I do these sets of things, I can get a grasp on just using this technology more freely or using it for any use case I'll be required as well. So mainly just understanding the concept of it, understanding why it's created, and building a project out of it. So these three things for me, just help to get used to any other concepts, like web development, GPT, or any other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Great. As a young data scientist, how do you see the role of data science in shaping the future of technology and society?
Okay, so normally I think data science is already being implemented everywhere we know, like either be things like Amazon using data science for like recommendations of movies and web series, or in recent days, Gmail is using data science for like classifying spam detection based. So to be honest, we're already using data science in our life without even noticing it. So we're already in the part of saying that data science has already taken most of a has solved most of our problems right now. So if I would say anything near future, we'll be gaining more and more data as we go because we're a redundant society where we all have devices available right now, and the more the people gain these devices, the more data usage is also going to be created over here. So with this range of data, we can think of new solutions. Maybe one would be accurate stock price forecasting, where we can actually we can predict the stock price like super accurate. That's one thing. This can be for any other investment opportunity, real estate as well. Another would be maybe health. I think in health, where now we can if we have the right amount of data, we can specifically design medicines instead of for a large group of people, but only specifically individually for you. Like, of course, human body is like super unique. So if data science will be super advanced, then if we have vast amounts of data on health by then we can design a model that might actually give you specific medicines only designed for your specific body. That would be one thing, and nothing comes in top of the mind. I think health, stock, and it always depends on data. Wherever we might see vast amount of data rising, I think data science will definitely take over on that. But this is what I can think on top of my mind.
Okay. Now comes my next question. This is more about your future aspirations as a data scientist. How do you see yourself contributing to the world through data science in the coming years?
Like, I have some good projects in my mind which I wanted to do, and this might most of them are revolved on agriculture and the health tech part of it. So the only problem is the data is something which is remaining either in the health or the agriculture side. So I'm still trying to see if there's any open source data sets available for me to just solve around this problem statement, or if I can approach any organizations that might help me to get this specific data. Uh, Most of my future projects are all into specifically agriculture, and one would be classification of like cancers and everything. So these are few interesting things of what either of us future projects. So only data would tell me what I can do from that. But future aspirations, sure, that side, and I have few more ideas on building few more AI tools that might benefit students. So that's also something I'm working on right now.
Okay, that's great. And how do you handle the pressure and expectations that come with being a prodigy in your field and an inspiration to many aspiring data scientists?
Normally, if it's pressure, like of course, I have to balance my academics and like my professional, the whole data science thing as well. And never really felt it challenging because one, my school that my college has always been supportive of what I'm doing right now. So they sort of make the whole data science and my actual academics to be more flexible. So even teachers have coordinated with me on that. And if it comes to pressure, then I don't really say I have any pressure, because for me, data science is just like any other passion for what other people might have as a passion. Some might have it as sports, music, maybe games, or it can be anything. So for me, data science or AI machine learning is the same passion like that. So you never really feel a pressure when you're actually doing something you love. So that's how it's been for me. I don't know.
Well said. Like when you love something, like you don't feel like as if you are working, right? So which
Nice.
means our passion drives us. That's great. And we had an incredible conversation so far. It's now time to add some more excitement to the episode. And get ready, Siddharth, as we dive into a series of intriguing rapid fire questions, the second round, to spice
Yes.
up
Yes.
the episode further. And if you're ready, let's dive in.
Yes. Let's wait.
Okay, here comes the first question. If data science were an animal, what would it be and why?
Normally, I was at third, like a tortoise or something. Normally, this is one movie called Kung Fu Panda, where you have a wise tortoise who actually predicts stuff and stuff. But the problem is that tortoise is also like super slow. So the way how I would think of data science is like, sure, you can create some amazing stuff, you can do some predictive analytics, and data science is also like super useful companies out there. But it also sucks when you have to do training part of it, because training an algorithm on data like takes a large amount of time, and it also depends on your hardware specifications. For example, if I have an NVIDIA Titan or something, sure, I can train a regression model in like 2 minutes, I think, if I wanted to. But it also differs that if I want to train a model on my laptop right now, which is, it's not bad. I'm using a P6420 right now as an NVIDIA GPU. So it might take some time, but it's the results are worth it. So Like a tortoise is something what I would think of as data science.
Good one. And what is one thing you are really bad at that you wish you were better at?
Let's say comments in my code. Normally, when you're programming, you specifically need to place comments in your code. So it'll make the sort of the block of code more understandable, like when you revisit your code. But I have this bad habit where I just write some code. Sometimes the code is bad, but it still works. I just leave it like that, and I forgot to update it. So when I come back after like 2 to 3 weeks, it seems completely new to me because I don't really understand what's happening here. So comments on my code is sort of a really bad habit of mine, and I have to start adding it. But it just became what it is until now. So
Okay, great. Moving to the next one. Describe yourself in one word.
exploring, exploring is the one that because I
Hmm.
feel like there's never. I don't even think I have even just come close to
Hmm.
understanding it. Even computers are there because there's all these new things coming to learn. There's
Hmm.
quantum computing right now. There's one being GPT. There's like new things every day is coming out right now. So if
Yeah.
there not even technology, if there's a concept which I might find interesting, I just want to like read more into it. Like recently, nuclear physics and quantum physics is something I'm super interested into, and I'm researching
Hmm.
a bit more on that. So I'll say
Hmm.
exploring is number one.
Okay. And if you could give a TED talk on any non-data science topic, which topic would you choose?
I would say space. Like yeah, like I was talking about physics, but space seems like a super interesting for me because us just being in this huge universe, like the thing is like there might be multiverse out there, it might be paradoxical. Like space in itself is like super cool to learn. So if there is a paradox, like, I would have given, I just talked a bunch about multiverses where the possibility of having infinite number of universes to be existing just like Earth. So I think that's one topic I would like to talk about.
Okay. Great. And here comes my next one. If you could use data science to predict any future event, what would you want to predict?
That would be dependent on the data, but if if there is if I can get I would say Bitcoins or something because Bitcoins have always been super interesting. Like in 2012, I think the value was so low that everyone was just giving Bitcoins for free out there. But now it's like super increased and volatile right now. So if there is a way I can understand the concepts behind Bitcoin and actually get a chance to predict it, it'll be like amazing. Honestly.
Hmm. Okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be and why?
This is hard actually. I would say mm, invisibility. Actually, I would say controlling the time because the thing is, I'm super negligent with a whole time as a concept itself. So, if I did have a chance to control anything as a superpower, time would be so. I can just rewind back to a past where I might have regretted some decisions, and I would just change that. So, like I don't know, like time is a superpower I'd like to have.
Hmm. Yeah. Last one is like if you, what is a fantasy gadget or an electronic gadget that you would like to see or invent yourself?
Fantasy casual. Fantasy casual. Actually, I know VR has already been in a lot of development right now. I think Meta is doing a bunch of research on trying to make this whole metaverse as a thing coming to, and I feel that is super exciting and it's also dystopian and like super future as well. But if there is a way I can make the whole metaverse thing instead of as a bulky item to as a headwear or something, and make it more lenient, something more cheaper that would actually work as an actual VR headset or something. I want to make that like some super simple camera that might actually work as a metaverse tool or something. I don't know. It seems like a good idea because right now these VR headsets or something they're like lakhs of rupees right now. And there's a way where we can probably make the whole VR as an item cheaper and provide it for others, so we can actually make a real life working model of metaverse where everyone can actually use it. So I think that's a gadget that hopefully like to create.
Okay. This has been great conversation and I love the rapid fire
Yes.
round. Let's flip back to the
Yes.
mainstream. What will be your one piece of advice to those aspiring to be a data scientist?
One would be just you have to have a strong understanding of what AI and machine learning is about, because before you get into data science, you need to have an understanding about why data science was created, like why data science is concept right now, like why is AI concept, why is machine learning created, just having a brief understanding about AI and machine learning from scratch. So in Coursera, there's this Stanford professor called Andrew in this machine learning course, and that was my first touch into AI and machine learning as well. So if you're interested in getting to know about data science, just do the Andrew in this machine learning course, understand the basics of AI and ML, and you can start working around with your own data. And there's also something called Kaggle, where you can participate in competitions, gain some understanding. So just like once you have some basic scratch understanding about AI and machine learning, just go to Kaggle and start, like solving some problems or solving some problem statements with on some data sets. So I think that's a correct, like, basic advice we can give on that.
Okay. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice platform?
No, it's amazing actually, because the questions were amazing, and you have some obviously some amazing people. You have like amazing people's sessions out there as well, because I know Hasini previously, so it was cool to see Hasini's session out there as well. So it's been amazing. Thank you actually for having
Hmm.
me.
Great. And really appreciate your time and also all the wonderful insights that you have shared. And I wish
Thank you.
you loads of success. And I'm sure the best is yet to come in your journey. Thank you so much
Thank you, sir.
once again for being part of our journey in shaping the careers and lives of millions across the globe, Siddharth.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Friends, that was our episode with Siddharth Pilli, the Asia's youngest data scientist. And before we dive into the exciting trivia section, here is a small request for you. If you haven't already, we kindly invite you to subscribe to our podcast, because by subscribing, you'll stay updated with our latest episodes, ensuring you never miss out on the valuable content. And if you have enjoyed this episode and found it beneficial, it would be immensely grateful if you could share it with at least three of your friends or colleagues or family members who can also benefit from the Guiding Voice. Please spread the knowledge and empower others to learn and grow just like you. And your support means the world to us. Not only will your friends and your acquaintances gain new insights, but we will also gain new subscribers, allowing us to continue producing valuable content for you and our growing community. Thank you in advance for your support, and let's embark on this journey of knowledge together. And now let's hop into the trivia segment of today's episode. Today, after this enchanting conversation with Siddharth Pilli, I think it is appropriate if you could talk about other young achievers as well. And here are a few young achievers. Like at the age of 14, Taylor Wilson became the youngest person to produce a nuclear fusion reaction in a homemade nuclear fusion reactor. He achieved this remarkable feat in 2008 and has since continued to pursue advancement in nuclear science. And in 2013, 15-year-old Jack Andraka won the International Science and Engineering Fair for his development of a groundbreaking, inexpensive sensor to detect pancreatic, ovarian, and lung cancer early in their stages. Blaise Pascal, a French mathematician and physicist, is considered one of the youngest scientific prodigies in the history, and he published his first work on projective geometry at the age of 16. And the last fact is, Geetanjali Rao, a young scientist from the United States, won the Time magazine's Kid of the Year in 2020 and at the age of 15. She is known for inventing several devices, including a lead detection tool, a device for detecting opioid addiction, and an anti-cyberbullying AI solution. So, folks, if you have come across any young achievers, please share their details with me, and I would love to host them on the platform. And that's a wrap for today's episode. And we sincerely appreciate you for taking time to tune in and being part of our incredible community. We would love to hear from you, and your feedback and ideas mean the world to us. Please don't hesitate to share your topic recommendations and suggestions for guest speakers, either through our vibrant social media channels or by dropping us an email at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com. Together, we can create content that truly resonates with you. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, a dedicated professional and an insatiable learner. My mission is to make the world a better place through meaningful conversations that have a lasting impact on your life and also your career. Stay connected with us as we continue this enlightening journey together. And until we meet again, take care, folks. Stay inspired. And remember, the best is yet to come. Bye for now. See you all in the next episode.